So any questions from the audience?
Hi, my name is Matt Butler, and I never really paid too much attention to city council elections until I received a flyer in the mail that I thought was below the belt and not right, and thought it looked like something out of a Karl Rove handbook. So I was surprised to hear that with the chairman of the New Democratic Party, it possibly came from your camp or some side of your camp.
Absolutely not.
Well, my understanding is the donors of your two elections also funded this flyer. My question is, number one, do you think that the flyer was wrong and a mistake? And number two, are you willing to place the needs of San Rafael voters above and before your out-of-town donors?
So this is a specific question for Greg, and because of the format of the forum, all the candidates should answer. So we will, because the question was directed to you, we have you as first, but and then after we are going to let others comment the question too.
Absolutely. So, I think this thing's been blown up way out of proportion. First of all, let me be clear, it had nothing to do with the Democratic Party. It had nothing to do with my campaign or any other campaign here. It's what's called an independent expenditure. Anyone has a right to spend any amount of money they want on any flyer or anything else they want on any campaign, as long as it's not coordinated with the campaigns. And it was not. As soon as the IJ reporter called us about it, I think Damon and I were both quoted saying, we don't know anything about this, we'd never heard of it, it's news to us, we knew nothing about it. Now the first thing the reporter did is says, well, what do you think about the truth of this flyer? And we said, and the reporter quickly agreed that was an unfair question because we hadn't seen it. And even if we had seen it, we had no knowledge of it, no responsibility for it. I didn't know any of that stuff. So how can we be held responsible for it? Now the fact that that guy chose to also give a donation to my campaign or somebody else's campaign should be irrelevant. We've all received 100, 200 different donations. Should we return the donation of everyone we may not agree with what they did? This is not the case of a state legislator returning donations from a tainted industry. That guy who's expressing his free speech rights is not a tainted industry.
Okay, so to respect the flow here, let's go with Dick. If you could comment the question if you want.
Well, throwing out that problem, I went down and took $9,000 out of the bank to buy my own bank.
Okay.
My own cover. I don't go bugging nobody for money.
Thank you. Damon?
I've been focusing on running my own positive campaign. I signed a pledge to run a positive campaign. I have been. I've been walking precincts in every neighborhood. I'm proud of the support I've gotten. I have over 200 contributors. I don't agree or disagree with everything that any of them do. I didn't have anything to do with the negative mailer, which I believe you're referring to. And I don't condone negative campaigning. I haven't engaged in it myself. And I believe if you look at the broad range of support I've gotten from the community, it speaks to the kind of campaign I'm running. 3 current city council members are endorsing my campaign, 4 members of the Board of Supervisors, the firefighters, the police, the Sierra Club, the Marin Builders Association. Go down the line, it's a broad cross-section of this community in town because they recognize I'm going to do a good job and that I'm above board and have been running a positive campaign.
This is sort of difficult because the hit piece was on me. But neither Greg or Damon stood up and denounced it. They're skirting the issue by telling you that it wasn't part of their campaign, and I will leave it at that.
Thank you. So the next question submitted through the internet. What can we do to increase affordable housing in San Rafael? Where specifically do you recommend infill development? So we are going to start with Damon.
Well, it's a very important issue facing our community. We have to do a better job of providing affordable housing opportunities for our residents. I support using an approach that focuses on infill development near downtown and accessible to public transit. It's a kind of development I think actually accomplishes a lot of different goals. So that's one thing I'll be working on. If there are developments in town, a certain percentage should be affordable. Also, I think we need to think creatively.
What was the percentage?
Well, that, you know,
No, but I missed that
significant.
because when I was
I was just saying, if there is new development, a percentage should be affordable and available to working people. I also think we need to think creatively about other options like turning existing housing into more affordable housing through financial incentives and public-private partnerships.
Thank you, Greg.
I served as president of the board of the San Rafael Housing Corporation about 20 years ago. That was a nonprofit organization to advocate for affordable housing. In that role, I founded Affordable Housing Week and got resolutions from the Board of Supervisors, various city councils, and had tours of various affordable housing complexes to dispel the myth that affordable housing reduces property values. So I've been a long-time, passionate, hard-working advocate for affordable housing. We clearly need more of it. We have a jobs housing imbalance in this community, generally, in San Rafael specifically. We don't have the housing to meet the jobs that we have here. That's why so many people have to commute in and cause a traffic problem. It endangers our community. We don't have our safety personnel, fire, police, nurses living in our community. They live far away and commute into work, so that if there's an emergency, we would have a tough time without those emergency workers. We don't have the teachers. It hurts our community in so many ways, so we need to work harder to find more affordable housing in appropriate infill locations near services and transportation like downtown. Thank you.
I've been an advocate for affordable housing because I believe that to have a diverse community, we need to have our younger people staying in San Rafael. And I know how hard it is for teachers to live here. They don't make a great deal of money doing, I think, a great job that they do. And yet they have to travel some distance to find housing and then come into San Rafael to work and then go home again. And that places them at a real disadvantage and places the students at a disadvantage, I think, in many cases. So I would support any form of affordable housing infill. I think it's essential, but we need to bring the community together when we talk about infill so that that area that is going to have the infill housing fully understands what infill housing is all about and the types of people that will be using that housing.
Thank you. Dick?
I built 35 houses in Wayne County. I have 7 kids. Now, one of them could
You
afford
have
to live
30,
in.
I missed that. Did you ever do that?
I built 35 houses in Wayne County. I have 7 children. None of them can afford to live in town. I bought lots for $3,500. The cheapest lot in San Rafael now is $300,000 or $400,000. There's no simple answer for it. Thank you.